During the American Civil War, the Confederacy implemented a strategy known as cotton diplomacy, aiming to leverage its dominance in cotton production to secure foreign support, particularly from Britain and France. This approach was rooted in the belief that European textile industries were heavily dependent on Southern cotton, and that withholding this vital resource would compel these nations to recognize and assist the Confederate cause. The premise of King Cotton. Prior to the war, the Southern economy was heavily reliant on cotton, often referred to as King Cotton. By the late 1850s, Southern cotton accounted for a significant majority of the cotton consumed in Britain, France, and other parts of Europe. This dominance led Southern leaders to believe that their cotton was indispensable to European economies. In 1858, Senator James Hammond of South Carolina famously declared, "Cotton is king," reflecting the South's confidence in its economic leverage. The strategy of cotton diplomacy. At the onset of the Civil War, the Confederacy initiated a self-imposed embargo on cotton exports, aiming to create a shortage in Europe that would pressure Britain and France into recognizing Confederacy and intervening against the Union blockade. The Confederate government believed that the economic distress caused by the cotton shortage would force European powers to act in their favor. The failure of cotton diplomacy. Despite the Confederacy's expectations, cotton diplomacy failed to achieve its objectives. Several factors contributed to this failure. Alternative sources. European nations, anticipating potential disruptions, had stockpiled cotton and began sourcing from other regions, notably Egypt and India. This diversification reduced their reliance on Southern cotton. Union blockade. The Union's effective naval blockade significantly limited the Confederacy's ability to export cotton, further diminishing the impact of their embargo. Moral and political considerations. European countries, particularly Britain, were hesitant to support a Confederacy that upheld slavery, especially when the Union was positioning itself against the institution. This moral stance outweighed economic interests. Economic interests with the Union. Britain and France had significant trade relationships with the Union, including imports of grain and other essential goods. Aligning with the Confederacy risked jeopardizing these vital economic ties. Wikipedia. Consequences for the Confederacy. The failure of cotton diplomacy had dire consequences for the Confederate States. Economic decline. The self-imposed embargo deprived the Confederacy of much-needed revenue from cotton exports, weakening its economy. Heave. Lack of foreign support. Without the anticipated intervention from European powers, the Confederacy found itself isolated on the international stage. Strategic miscalculations. The overestimation of cotton's influence led to strategic errors, diverting attention from other potential diplomatic and military strategies. Civil War Wiki. Conclusion. Cotton diplomacy, while rooted in the economic realities of the pre-war South, ultimately proved to be a miscalculated strategy. The Confederacy's over-reliance on cotton as a diplomatic tool failed to account for the complexities of international politics, alternative economic sources, and moral considerations. This misstep contributed to the South's inability to secure foreign allies and underscored the limitations of economic leverage in the face of multifaceted geopolitical dynamics.